Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is International Forum. It's all about U.S. today as the world awaits the inauguration of Donald Trump. With me here in the studio to talk about this, he's a legal practitioner, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister A.B. Thomas. Barrister, it's good to have you join me on the show.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Appreciate your coming.
Thank you.
All right. Now, let's put the show on the Barrister A.B. Thomas. We're going to start off from your own angle. Some are saying, like what Donald Trump is like, pining that U.S. is not what it ought to be. That the acronym will say the kind of description that Donald Trump, described Joe Biden as a sleeping president, is that is what's happening right now in the U.S. The name Sleepy Joe. As well as America right now is asleep because of some decisions that were supposed to be taken, wasn't taken because the president. If you choose to take them, it's rather too late for him to take some decision, make some decision. Don't forget also about the gun attack, the truck attack, and attacks also from the borders. As a sitting president, though he has just a few weeks to go, is that what it ought to be?
Thank you very much. You see, situations America are facing now is akin to a situation where there is no governance. What you are seeing in America today is not the federal government still governing America. It is a situation where you find the laid down institutions still functioning. That is why we keep on saying, if we have functional institutions, well-established institutions, the country can function properly. That is what is happening in America. We have functional, well-established institutions. But in terms of political governance, Joe Biden is simply waiting for a few days so that Trump can come, take over, and do whatever he likes. That was why he was in a hurry to pardon his son. Say, look, whatever happens, that's my son. He has pardoned his son. He is now looking, just looking. And the humiliation came up with the vice president going to the Congress to certify the votes that Trump has won. Whereas other persons would have expected that if the result had gone the other way, the vice president would have gone as a senator to certify herself. So you find a president who is not complaining publicly, but he feels he was more popular than Harris, that he was forced to step down. You find Democrats say, look, you didn't know what you were doing. You were old, or you are old, and you were making missteps here and there, missteps. So we have to salvage our party by bringing Harris. Then you have Harris, who could not disengage herself properly from Joe Biden's administration, thereby losing lots and lots of percentage in votes, because people saw her that if she wins, she will be a continuation of Joe Biden. But in actual fact, Joe Biden was more popular than Harris, as at the time Joe Biden was forced to step down. So the old man is not happy. Harris is not happy. Democrats have lost both the Congress and the Senate. So all you now have is a comatose situation in America, whereby there is no actual governance, but the institutions are functioning. Like you talk of border guards, they are functioning. Immigration, they are functioning. Talk of FBI, talk of Homeland Security, they are functioning. These are well-grounded institutions.
All right. I'll come back to you, Barrister A, before. Let's move on to Hichoya. Well, from what he said, it's like an offshoot of the outcome of the election. Would you want to really agree to that? Well, we're having some technical difficulties. We're able to establish, contact with Hichoya. Definitely will continue from where we last saw him. Okay, now let me come back to you. Now, doesn't that mean that he's like bitter about the outcome of the election to the extent that is now affecting his own performance as a president of the #1 man of the nation of America vis-a-vis the #1 man of the world? Some are like expecting that he should have left the seat gun blazing, bringing out his best to prove to the world that win or lose, he's still the #1 man.
He's a human being, though not an African. He's a human being. He has his feelings. He believes that people like Pelosi, the former House Speaker, were among those who asked him to quit. So now we have lost. I better enjoy the remaining days in office without taking any action. If you look at your poll before this discussion, Ukrainians are losing. Yet, there are funds of about $11 billion left in the kitty for him to spend, for Joe Biden to spend, to boost up the security of Ukraine. He's just feeling, I'm not more interested in anything they are doing. Recently, he traveled out of America just to go for a jamboree and came back. If you invite him to Nigeria tomorrow, he will come. Because as far as he's concerned, I'm not more interested. People can go and do whatever you like. And I think that is not how a former vice president to Barack Obama, now a president, just because you couldn't have a second slot for presidency, you're not even thinking of your age, your health, you are feeling angered by the stand of majority of Democrats that should step down. I think that is not good.
All right, but now, did you say that this, like, as a result of him being being this kind of a betrayer from his own people? Someone saying he's feeling that kind of, the pangs of betrayal, like what you at least said, Pelosi, Kamala Harris, the Democrats, to him, they all betrayed him. Is that the reason he's acting the way he's acting?
Yes, most likely. He feels that there was a gang up to force him out of the race, but he should have gone to look at a video clip of the debate between himself and Trump. Thereon, he would have been able to see that that performed. And Democrats had the right to be scared of his continued campaigning. Immediately after he withdrew, he went for a NATO meeting. Again, he blundered there, where he said he was going to call Putin to speak instead of Zelensky. So you find out that it was no longer the Biden of those days. But at least during these final days, he should have been able to perform and let people see that, oh, before, look, Jimmy Carter died last week at the age of 100. Carter spent only 4 years in power. But people will still remember Carter for what he did, for the peace he brought between Egypt and Israel, the Camp David Accord. Nothing stopped him from still performing his roles as executive president of America till the last day. But he's trying to behave like an African. That is what is paining me.
Why would you say something like an African?
No,
for an African president, you like to, be in charge to the last day.
When we Africans lose...
You can give an example of Goodluck Jonathan. He was still functioning till the last day.
When we Africans, we are mentioning one person out of how many 54 countries. When we Africans lose, we are bitter losers. Bitter losers. Even to today, you still have your brother who lost the PDP presidential election, who is still bitter today. See? So we Africans are bitter losers. You lose, you go and join the other party, and you refuse to leave your own party because you are angry. That is the anger Joe Biden is showing. That is why I said he's not an African man. He shouldn't behave that way. But right now, all the little achievements he has made will be forgotten by his actions and inactions in his last days in office. That's not how to behave. In fact, I would have expected him say, oh, well, I have 10 days more. I will take certain decisions that are irreversible while in power. Like the issue of Israel. We will no longer supply you any weapon.
But hold on now. Some of the decision on international relation. He made several moves, and those moves are like, jettisons. Remember he said
that did not
he gave Ukraine, like, the hope of permission to use long-range missiles to defend their own territory. Even Donald Trump kicked against it.
At what stage?
For the Israeli, he was like, look, Israel, what you guys are doing is wrong. Ceasefire. They didn't listen to him.
At what stage? Let me tell you why your analysis or what you are saying about what I'm saying is not correct. At the beginning, in October 2023, he gave Israel a blank check. Go ahead, do what you like. We are behind you. Send warships to the Mediterranean. Go ahead, you can do what you like. When you give a mad dog the liberty to do anything, by the time you are trying to bring the mad dog back, it will be too late. Now, as soon as Kamala Harris lost the elections, Netanyahu had no business with the Biden anymore. In fact, he was mocking him. Whereas before the elections, if he had taken stand, there was a time he told Netanyahu, if you do not allow humanitarian aid into Israel within a number of days, we will take action. Did he do anything? No. Those were the days he missed. You ask Ukraine, go and use weapons. When you were already going away. Already going away. These are not the hallmarks of strong men. Strong men don't act that way. You look at the Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau, and because his party has joined the opposition in condemning his acts, this morning he announced that he's stepping down. Look for another leader. I'm tired of you. This is how somebody should behave. The fact that you have lost an election does not mean you will not complete. In fact, if I were to be in his shoes, the moment I lost, Kamala Harris lost the election, I would resign.
As a president?
As the president. To allow Kamala Harris to take over. Then the humiliation she went through last night would have been avoided. Because Kamala Harris would have elected another person as vice president. That person would have gone to the Congress to certify the results. But you let the poor woman go after losing to Trump. To go back and mark good for Trump. That is, unforgettable.
Is it a kind of a payback?
Well, I don't know what to call it, but for me, it's not a hallmark of a strong man. It's not a hallmark of a strong man. A strong man will leave. I am resigning. Harris, you take over as the vice president and become substantive president. So she will not go and hand over to Trump at the Congress. But he didn't do that because of the bitterness in him. You don't do that. And looking at the economy of America, suddenly the economy is bouncing back. Because he is no longer active. The man who has not yet been sworn in, he's even more active. People are coming from all over the world and going to his Malaga, his house, not even White House. You won't do that when I'm a president. As I'm the president, you come into the country, come and see me, not to go and see president-elect. But he, because of his age, he is no longer fit to to understand what is going on around him. But the bitterness is there. So if you see the economy, it has bounced back. Those billionaires whose incomes were going to be cut by heavy taxes by Harris are now back in doing more investment in America. The Chinese who are being threatened by Trump are no longer listening to Joe Biden, because for them, Joe Biden is no longer of any relevance. It is Trump now. The other day, Trudeau traveled from Canada. He didn't go to see Biden. He went straight to go and see President-elect.
Don't forget that since Trudeau resigned, Trump is talking about U.S.-Canada merger. All right, it's like everything is just centering on Trump. Why Biden is still there in the seat as a president? Is this not a slap on the United States of America? Not on the president of Joe Biden, but on that particular country.
That is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. The man who has been there as president has suddenly gone to sleep. He has left the country to be drifting apart. The Senate has been lost to the Republicans. The Congress has been lost to the Republicans. The Democrats are not united. The Democrats have no leader. This man, who is the president, is no longer exhibiting the leadership qualities of a party leader. So everybody is now discussing with President-elect who is yet to be sworn in. And if Trudeau traveled from Canada to go and meet President-elect instead of the current president, it is because he has no faith in the current president. So, unfortunately, Trudeau did not know, or he has forgotten, that he wasn't dealing with a statesman in meeting Trump, by Trump asking to allow Canada to become a state in America. Don't forget, America wasn't formed with these current 50 states. Other countries and other parts joined them to become states. So, Trump is not a man you can call a statesman. He's a businessman. Trudeau came to ask for a leverage in tax increases on goods coming from Canada. Please exempt us from those taxes. We have had good relations between Canada and the US. But what did he get? So they slap in the face by saying, let your country come and become the 51st state in America.
But that's like a Putin style indirectly.
It's Putin's style. And nobody has told you that Putin and Trump are not friends. You can say why they are good friends. Putin and Trump are very good friends, and they have the same characteristics of that of a strong man. Putin will get, Trump will get there now. As far as he's sworn in, he will tell you America first. His own idea of America first is not democracy. Democracy that will be accepted, where decisions are taken in the interest of the majority of Americans. No.
But how come he's not a statesman, he's not a friendly man, but people like, kowtowing to his own command, despite the fact that he has not been sworn in yet, and we have a Joe Biden?
I think I had said earlier on that Joe Biden has gone to sleep. If Joe Biden were still behaving like a president till the last day, nobody will go to Trump. But if a man has lost election and he just went to his bedroom, my wife, let's go to Mexico, let's go to Ghana, let's leave them, it's a headache. Then Who are you going to meet in the White House? Nobody.
Are you not saying that America is on autopilot right now?
Exactly. Because there is no president, there is no vice president, there is no Democrat, Democratic leader. All you have are Republicans. Even among the Republicans, did you look at the election of the speaker? Did you not see the drama that took place? And it took intervention of Donald Trump to get the former speaker to be reelected, because he's a personal friend of Trump. Trump is picking people who are yes men to him to fill positions that is yet to occupy as president. But he does not care about your qualification. He does not care about your morality. He does not care about FBI's clearance. He does not care about your past misconduct or behavior. Once you are his friend, once you're, in fact, those Trump is speaking now as secretaries of state are people of strong loyalty to him, not strong loyalty to America. So at the end of the day, you will see when the referee blows the whistle after the handover to Trump, you will see what will happen to America. Within 6 months, Americans will be revolting. Because Joe Biden is going away. Trump will come in. Trump is going to start ruling America like his own fiefdom, like his own kingdom. No opposition. For a very long time now, this is the first time you are having an American president from a party, the Senate president from the same party, then the Congress speaker from the same party. And all these people, Trump is going to be controlling. Before the election proper, many Republicans were afraid to come out to contest, because Trump had 2 years ago said, I'm contesting. The rest were afraid to come out. So if you look at the kind of governance you are already seeing now, that Biden is just sleeping and Trump is playing the shots from the golf course, then you can imagine what will happen when he becomes sworn in as the president of America. He is going to be taking unilateral decisions and expect the Senate and the Congress to simply be a rubber stamp Senate. Then it will happen for the next 6 months, and then after the Senate will begin to find their feet, the Congress begin to find their feet after 6 months. But then it would have done a lot of damage. I'll give you a very practical example. He had not been sworn in. He was saying, I can stop the war in Ukraine and Russia in 24 hours. What magic does he have?
But that's what we are yet to see. He said he would do it. We are waiting for him, because he never said anything more than that.
Yes, but I can tell you what he wants to do. I can tell you what he wants to do.
Go ahead, you're free to give prediction.
Because America, to him, America first. He doesn't have the time to waste American money or American weapons on Ukraine. He doesn't have that money. He doesn't have that time. He's a businessman. Is it worth it for me to commit American money into Ukraine? Is it worth it for me to send our weapons down there? No. Ukraine, accept what you have lost. Russia, accept what you have gained. Both of you go home and rest. That's all. That is the correct solution.
Are you sure about this?
You will call me back here. You will call me back here. This is all it's going to do. This is the kind of settlement it's going to do.
So is that the reason why Ukraine is trying to fight back to regain those lands Russia have conquered already?
That is why they are fighting tooth and nail, because they already know. Zelensky went to see Trump after saying that Biden was no longer using the money, the fund already released by Congress, $9 billion. He just left it there. Zelensky went to meet Trump, who is not yet
The president.
The president. And what did Trump tell Zelensky? He said, if I were to be there, you wouldn't have gone into this war in the first case. Donetsk and the other areas are Russian speaking. You could have left that area for them. Do you need an oracle to tell you that? If he says Donetsk, they are Russian speaking areas, but they are part of
Ukraine.
He said you shouldn't have gone to the war, you should just let them take that place and go away. So he is not going to put a kobo. And Putin knows that he's not going to put a kobo. So Putin is trying to acquire more land.
More lands. Let's go back again to the Trump-Biden issue. As it stands, people are like, trying to pay homage, or let's say pay allegiance to Trump. Now let's take a look at the Democrat. As it stands in America, do you think they will make any difference in Trump's administration?
Unfortunately, they have to wait for mid-term elections that comes up in another 2 years for elections into some vacancies that will exist in the Senate and the Congress, with the hope of getting some seats so that their voices can be heard. But for now, every Democrat has to go back and re-strategize. Every Democrat has to look for a strong man as the leader of the Democrats. Because today, if I ask you, who is the leader of the Democrats? You can't see anybody. Is it Schumer, who was the former head of Democrats in the Senate? No. Is it Pelosi, who is already almost 90? No. They need a middle-aged person, man or woman, who can come in and bring all Democrats together in a united front and begin new policies. Study why they lost to Republicans the way they did, scandalously. Then look at how they can change that loss into a strength that they can now combine their efforts and produce a powerful leader who, from there, they can rally around. Otherwise, without doing that, Democrats are going to be silent for a very long time. But the earlier they are able to get a leader, because of the midterm election coming up in another 2 years' time, the earlier they do that, the better for them. Because if they don't, they will just lose the remaining seats to the Republicans. So America will become a one-party state. And you know the danger of having a one-party state. If we in Nigeria were afraid of one-party state in Nigeria, well, it's almost the same thing now. Everybody wants to go to the winning party. If it happens in America, America is doomed. In Russia, you can see what one-party state is doing in Russia. Whatever Putin says is the law. You argue, you are gone. So America is the bastion of democracy in the world. America is the bastion of democracy for Western Europe. America is the bastion of democracy for third world countries. If not the corruption that has overtaken our democracy in Africa. Otherwise, we should be looking towards America. But America that is weak, because the Democrats are not united as they ought to be, so they can be a good opposition to the Republicans. If it is not there, America will turn to one-party nation. In that case, Europe will begin to turn to one-party states. Then China will say at the end, what did we tell you? We told you communism is better than capitalism.
All right. What do you think Joe Biden can do right now to at least turn the tide? Just one more shot at the road. Come on, he's a president. Do you think he's just going to bow out like this? What do you think he can really do to say, though it's like having less than 2 or 3 weeks to go? What do you think? What policy do you think he can just enact that will make people remember him? One of his acts during his last days in office.
One, if he wants to be remembered, notice he has been traveling. He went to Mexico. It means that he's not incapacitated. He can fly to Israel.
Some are saying he's just globetrotting.
Yes, he can fly to Israel and meet Netanyahu and want ceasefire within the next 7 days. I want it. I gave you all you needed. I gave you blockbuster bombs, 2,000 pounds. I allowed you to kill the Palestinians like house. I want ceasefire in 7 days to honor me, to remind the whole world that the war started in my time and I ended it before I left.
And do you think the time will listen to him?
Well, like I said, he wasn't forceful enough. So let him try one more time and see if he's going to, because all American officials have gone to Israel. The only person who has not gone is Biden. Let him go and try his luck. His luck, or let him fool himself for the last time. Then, all the weapons he has not released to Ukraine, I expect him this minute to start flying Hercules.
But that is the bone of contention. Someone say you don't do that, otherwise you're going to escalate the situation.
You are the one who asked.
He gave them long-range missiles. Donald Trump said, no, you can't do that. We are looking for peace. You want to escalate the war?
Who is saying that? Who did you say that?
Donald Trump was like, no,
Donald Trump is not the president.
He wrote, people like,
He's not the president.
but people responded to what Donald Trump said about giving them the long-range missiles.
Donald Trump is not the president now.
But I'm listening to him.
You said, what can Biden do now?
Yes.
To take up his prestige before the handover.
Yes.
Do what you can do. Let those who want to cry, cry. Huh? Can you ask a child who has been beaten not to cry? Send the weapons to the Ukrainians. My friend, go and do what you want to do with it. Then let the Russians run back a bit. Because the man coming is a very close friend of Putin. He's going to tell Putin, take all the land you have captured. Zelensky, you take your own this way. That's what you're going to get. And you will come back to say, this is what you said. So return all these things to him. Return all these weapons to them. Use it as you can to push the Russians back. Then he will be remembered to say, oh, when he was going away, he did X, Y, Z. But now he's doing nothing. Or you want to remember him as the president who was going away, who became a globetrotter.
Globetrotter for American interests, you can just opine that if you want to go into Mexico, to Canada, flying around the world.
Look, if you have been to America, the east part of America, yes, the border between Mexico and America is such a long border. And Trump has been boasting, even during the election, that the kind of deportation he will carry out will be the worst deportation in the whole world. So what is his business going to Mexico? What's he going to achieve? Nothing.
Thank you so much, Barrister A.B. Thomas. It was such a nice time, listening to your point of view about the closing days of Joe Biden and, of course, coming in of Donald Trump. Well, America right now, they don't really need globetrotters, do they? They need someone that can really, really stand as one or two things and do something tangible for the world to feel. How do you think Joe Biden will be remembered? Don't you think he should do something, just one thing that the world will look up to and say, yes, that is Mr. President, before he goes away? Anyway, all the time will tell. Barrister Thomas, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. Well, this is what you can take today. Thank you so much for being a part of it, or waiting patiently for the inauguration of Donald Trump, and let's see what would be his first line of action for Joe Biden. Someone saying it's all over. just forget it. He's just counting days and counting time. What do you feel about it? See you next week, Tuesday, God willing. Bye for now.